Hey YouTube, we're back, episode 3. Glad to connect with you again. This episode's a little bit different. We have a question from you, the good people, specifically from Julia John. Julia was one of my former students. She's a fantastic UX designer with a very bright future. And this is what she asks.
Hey Usam. So I'm finishing up my UX design training and I'm entering into the job search now. And I'm really hoping to find a company that has a strong design culture and has mentorship opportunities. I'm curious, what kinds of questions would you recommend asking during an interview to learn more about a company's design culture and if it would be a fit? Thanks. Look forward to your thoughts.
So first, what's company culture? So company culture refers to the interactions between people and the beliefs that people in a company have in common. Or more simply, what's it like when you're working together with these people in this company, and what are the shared beliefs that you have? Here's some perspectives on company culture. So what's it like when you're working together with your colleagues at company A? Is it fun? Is it exciting? Are you motivated? Right? What's the working schedule like? Is it a strict 9 to 5, or do employees have autonomy and can work on their own time? What's the dress code like? Is it strict, or can people wear whatever they want and the focus is more on the work itself? What's it like when people describe what they do? Are they excited? Are they happy to tell you what they do? Do they have a lot of knowledge about the value of what they're shipping, what they're contributing to the company? Building on this definition, design culture describes the way people at a company design together or individually. It also refers to the way the company defines design, particularly good design. Design culture is how does the company value design and how are they putting those beliefs in design into practice? Now, it's not easy to learn about a company's culture from the outside. It's kind of like playing a game of telephone. The further you are from the source of the message, the more distorted the message becomes. So, for instance, you could learn about a company's culture from the company's website or press reports or magazines. This will give you some expression of the company's culture. But what's more authentic is if you can get firsthand, let's say, testimony or expressions of that culture through documentaries where the leaders of that company are describing what they see for the company, their vision, and what it's like to work there. Even better, and actually the best case scenario, is if you're working in the presence of those people, right? So you're part of that company and you're seeing what it's like to work with others in the company, what it's like to show up in the morning, what it's like to leave at the end of the day. Right now, it's hard to do that. Of course, the recommendation is if you can internship or you could shadow people at the company, definitely do that. But you might not have the luxury to do that, right? Just because it might take time or the company isn't offering an internship or such an opportunity at that time. And of course, maybe even before you commit a couple months to interning, you want to determine whether you want to even dedicate that time, right? So this is where asking questions at the interview level becomes your last opportunity to truly assess whether the company has a culture that you want to fit into. Let's go back to the question of how to learn about a company's design culture. We can boil this question down to something like, will I enjoy working here? Does this company value design? Is this a place where I can grow and thrive as a designer? But before you can answer these questions, you should have a picture of your ideal working environment. So, let's do a self-reflection exercise. You can visualize this or you can journal. Feel free to pause the video. We have a couple prompts that we'll share. If you'd like to develop more awareness around your ideal work environment, we put together an exercise that you can complete. It's a self-reflection exercise where you think back to your academic or professional experience, or even personal experience if you've been learning on your own. Some of the questions include, who are my favorite teachers and why? What schedule do I thrive in, or when do I perform my most challenging tasks? What are the things that I can do with relative ease while they come rather hard to other people? If I had to choose 3 to 4 principles or fundamental truths that every good design depends on, what would they be? This exercise is completely free, and you can find it in the show notes. We'll put a link in the description. Oh, and we have to give a shout out to the book, The Effective Executive by Peter Drucker. Several questions here were adapted from that book. It's a really good book, and we highly recommend you check it out. Now, in addition to thinking about your ideal work environment, it's also important to consider your design philosophy. What does good design mean to you? There are some companies that believe the customer is always right, and they base their design decisions on that belief. Other companies believe that people in the company know what's best for the end user, and they will choose their own perspective because they know at the end it will better serve their people. By being able to define design like this, you're able to decide which companies are good fit for you, which aren't. To better illustrate what a design philosophy can look like, let us share our own design philosophy. All right, so here are some ideas around good design and how it can be defined. One, it's a commitment to the end user. That means aiming to solve problem that the user has in a way that's 10 times better than something that already exists, or investing resources to do it in a way that doesn't exist currently. It's about the scientific thinking towards the design process, so investing resources and time into prototyping and testing ideas and measuring the results. Design is a commitment to the designers, so giving designers the tools to do their work, giving them the autonomy to work from wherever they want to and the schedules that work best for them. It's about flexibility in the process of putting design together. Process is great, but it can be limiting and it can make the work suck. So giving designers the freedom to adapt the process and do things in a way that could be better. If you like to develop your own stance on design, study your favorite designers. Luke W., Abby Covert, Don Norman. Read their material, as this will help you uncover your own perspective. In the self-reflection exercise, you'll find a couple prompts related to design philosophy as well as your design career. These will be helpful as you formulate your own. Give yourself time to complete this. There's no reason to rush through it. Plan for several 25-minute sessions so you pace yourself well. And if you could journal while you reflect, that would be best. You'd be able to pick up from where you left off and can edit your notes as needed. So you have a picture of your ideal working environment. You know where you want to be as a designer in the short term and the long term. And you have a good sense of what design means to you. With all this in mind, you have a good picture of where you want to be. You can use this to compare to what it's like working at other companies. So here's some questions that help you illustrate that. Here are a few questions that you can ask. See the show notes for a full list. 1. What's it like working here? This is a great question to ask everyone you interview so you can get a sense of the energy of the company. You're looking for a consistency of answers. 2. How are design decisions made? This is a great way to get some understanding of the design philosophy at the company. 3. What do you do when things don't go well around here? Also a good way to get information about a design philosophy. A company that puts the focus on solutions is the kind of company that embraces design thinking. 4. What's the most important thing you're working on right now and how are you making it happen? This is a good question to ask both leadership and product team members. If you're hearing answers from leadership related to improving product or team satisfaction, these are good signs. And if product team members such as designers are able to express the purpose and process behind their work, that means the company heavily involves them in the process. Who are the different people in the team and what are their responsibilities? More responsibilities means employees are trusted to own their roles. This also gives you a sense of whether the role aligns with your own career goals. So to recap, to learn about a company's design culture, 1. Know the kind of company you want to work for. The self-reflection exercise is a good way to develop awareness around this. 2. Develop questions to help you get a sense of what it's like day to day at that company. And 3. Compare and contrast your ideal company to what you've learned through your research and interviews. It hurts. We've hit the end. If you like this video, please subscribe, like it, share it with your friends, comment, ask a question, revisit it, watch it again, email it to a friend. Thanks, guys.